Good morning. Today is the journey through Lassen Volcanic National Park. I had a decent night's sleep last night, all things considered. Probably the warmest night on trails, like 60 degrees. And there's like 15 people or so camped out there at the same spot. But I found the hole that was in my mattress and patched that one up. But it was still leaking just a little bit. So I'm gonna have to check it out when I get to town and figure out where the hole came from. Maybe it was how I packed it in my bag, I don't know. Still to be investigated. I'm wandering down a 0.3 side trail. This gets down to Terminal Geyser. So why not? Let's go take a look at a geyser. And here it is. Not much of a geyser, just more of a geothermal steam vent. But that's kind of cool. Definitely a volcanic area. You can actually hear water bubbling. I just noticed there's a mother and fawn drinking the geyser mineral waters. I guess they like it hot. The next stop on our volcanic tour, this is Boiling Springs Lake. And I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's like a deep rumbling where like the water is boiling out of the ground. This is a big sulfur pond lake area, and you can definitely smell it. It's not obnoxiously strong in the sulfur smell. It's kind of a light, sweet sulfur. There's the side trail split off for the Drake's Bad Crest Guest Ranch. Normally you could stay there, but they are closed for the year due to fire damage. And I see some steam rising out of the ground over that way. Maybe some more springs and volcanic activity. Here's Hot Springs Creek. Here's the Warner Valley Campground area, which is closed due to burn damage. And I see bathroom facilities and stuff down there by the road. I feel like I should use them, but I don't have to go at this moment. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's twins. Two baby fawns right in front of that downed log in the middle of the screen. The mother's just off to the left behind the tree. I think this is the only steep bit for the day. About 1.5 miles or so uphill. We'll get up and over the other side of this ridge. There's another mother with twins right in the middle of the trail. Don't know how close I can get. See if I can get a better shot further up. Oh, they're off trailing up to the right now. I don't think I can get any closer. They keep scrambling ahead. Oh well. Okay, I think we're at the top. That should be it for the uphills for the day. I think the train's supposed to be much more easy and cruisy. I can't wait. And there used to be a forest here. This is Kings Creek. I feel like I haven't had a good log crossing in a while. There's Swan Lake. Pretty area up here. Coming up on Lower Twin Lake down there through the trees. Upper Twin Lake is more off just that way, but we haven't really had a chance to see it. But there should be water access, so we're gonna chill here at the lake. And this is gonna be the last water source till like the next 12 miles or so till we get to Hat Creek, which is gonna be our final destination for today. All we need now is some free use canoes. There's the Park Service Ranger cabin for up here. This is kind of a long exposed section, and temperatures aren't too bad yet. It's about 11 o'clock and maybe 80 degrees. In Bernie today, it's going to be 100. This feels like a really long exposed stretch, just kind of droning on. I've been noticing this for a while, but you can see all the lines on the ground. Those were fallen logs, had been, but they've all burned up, and just the discoloration of the ground is all that remains. There's not even much remnants of the actual wood left. Stop for a sit-down break. There's something about this section that just makes it feel like it's taken forever. Just the time's going by slow, the distances seem twice as long. I've only been in this like exposed section for about 6 miles or so, but it just seems like forever. There's little intermittent groves of trees like where I'm at right now to provide some shade every once in a while, but just kind of a slog. The terrain is nice and flat and easy. It's just, I don't know, just rough. It's hot, but it's not that hot. But I think we're almost at the park boundary. It's just a little bit further up. And then from the park boundary sign, I think it's only another 4 miles or so till we get to Hat Creek. So there's really not that much left in the day, but it's just going by slow. There's the park boundary on the north end. We've survived it, and we made it through the park. And from here, it's about 4 miles to our Hat Creek tent site. There's a new view up to the north. Haven't seen this yet. Almost done for the day. Almost at Hat Creek. Here we go, this is it. There's Hat Creek. I'll probably put some tents right there next to the water. We've got axe throwing. You just gotta bring your axe. The trail's right here. I think I'm gonna try to find something a little further off, just over this way. Looks like lots of room around here though. And this is gonna be home for the night, all set up, nice and secluded, tucked out of the way. It's just that it's hot. It's gonna be a few hours before the sun goes down, things start cooling off. But there's more people starting to show up and camp around. The creek is a good bit over that way. I'm just gonna drink my fill, maybe take a nap, but it's just a little hot. And I think that's it for today. Got my dinner going, and we're all settled in. There are not as many people here as I thought. I guess a lot of people pushed on to Old Station, which is just a little bit further up the road. We'll see that in the morning though. I don't think I'm gonna stop into the town, but there's like side roads. It's like a half mile, a mile off trail, something like that. But anyway, I think that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Had a decent night last night, despite my air mattress still leaking. There's a few people camped around. I was doing some research into what today's stretch kind of looks like. Water's going to be few and far between. Today I'm aiming to do like a 27-mile day, but I discovered several activities that we can do some side trails to hit up and stuff. So that may distract us and take us some time. So I don't know how much miles we end up doing. It'd be fine if we short today by a few miles, because we're getting into town tomorrow, and that was only planned for like a 14-mile day, so we can make it closer to like 20 and 20 and still be just fine. But anyway, first attraction of the day, I think we're going to skip the town of Old Station, and we'll be hitting a little touristy cool spot. I'll point that out when we get near that on the north side of Old Station. It's a very easy, pleasant walk this morning. I like being up super early, right when it's starting to get bright. Little pop-out view of Lassen Peak this morning. There's the first junction where you can get into Old Station. But there's nothing we need in town. And from here, we're like skirting around it for the next 4 miles or so. And our first destination for today will be on the north side of town, a little over 4 miles from here. Something I've noticed about all the rocks, there's almost little to no lava rocks inside the Lassen Volcanic National Park. All the lava rocks are outside the park, on the south end and the north end. Just crossing Highway 44, our first destination for today. It's just a little bit further. There's our exit. We're gonna check out the subway cave. Here we are, the subway cave. It is early on a Tuesday morning. We may be the only ones in here. But this is an old lava tube, which is only like 20,000 years old, so all things considered, it's not that old. And it goes back like 1,000 feet, so it's pretty big. So we'll go explore around here a little bit. This is awesome. Mud floor, and then just a perfectly arched tube where lava flowed. And I can hear voices echoing all throughout. So there could be people like 500 feet further in, just hearing their voices echo. Man, this thing is awesome. And it's also something like a consistent 47 degrees year-round in here. Oh, I'm at a junction. That looks like it kind of dead ends right there. So we'll take this way. This is 100% worth the side trip. The floor is just a little uneven, but most of it's kind of a rocky mud stuff that kind of formed when the lava stopped. I've never seen anything like this before. The walls are totally smooth. I've seen some old lava caves, but they were like rough. This thing is awesome. Definitely see why they call it the subway. Looks like another exit out the other side. We don't want to go that way. We'll go back the way we came. This is just up that end of that other side passage. Yeah, it doesn't really go much further. But you can see on the ceiling, little stalactites forming, and some have little beads of water, so it's actively forming. Another couple thousand years, 100,000 years, or whatever, you'll have a good number of stalactites. Well, I think that's it, so we'll head back. There's our junction, back on the PCT. That was 100% worth the side trip. That was awesome. Our next stop is the Trail Angel Cafe, which is about 3 miles from here. I'm not sure what that is exactly, but I gather it's like a pretty reliably stocked and maintained like Trail Angel stand where you can drop in and get some beverages and snacks and stuff. So we'll check that out in a little bit. Starting a decent hill climb. I think we're gonna end up on top of this ridge. So once we're up there, we should have some awesome views. This whole stretch, we've had great views of Lassen Peak. Seen it all from the south, and then we hooked around the east side of it, and now we're up on the north side of it. Now it's gonna be getting further and further away. It feels hot going up this hill. I think we're near the top. But it's only like 9:30 and I am sweating. I think it's gonna be a hot one today. Definitely tell that's an old volcano. Every patch that isn't green is all exposed, crumbled up lava rock, old lava flows. Looks kind of cool from here. That is the first view of Mount Shasta. It's so hazy and far away that all I can see is the snow outlining the top of it. You can't really see the base at all. But that's right about 70 miles straight line distance away from here. Here's our turnoff, the Trail Angel Cafe. There's a tent set up and some chairs and stuff. We'll go chill here for a bit and see what they've got. We're back on trail after the rest break at the Trail Angel Cafe. It was just water jugs pretty much. Look like they normally have like some snacks and free sodas and stuff, but the sign said they had run out of money for their budget already. But I was thinking it's not even halfway through the hiker season yet, so that kind of sucks for everybody else. But anyway, it's a water oasis at least, and this is a very dry stretch. So I'm all filled up on water, had a nice break. Next water source is another water tank that's maintained by another guy, and that's in like 13 miles or so, so that'll be the next stop. I think all day we're gonna have views like this down to the Hat Creek Valley area. We're gonna be up on this rim all day. Hot and exposed. This all reminds me of being back in the desert section. We got long water carries. It's really hot. It's not much shade. Now we just need to see a rattlesnake and some cactus and we'll be all set. The terrain's pretty flat for the most part, but it's just rocky enough to kind of trip you up a little bit. Keeps you from going at your full speed. It's noon, taking a break in a shady spot. We got 8 miles to the water cache still. It's always the really long dry stretches are in like the hottest days we've ever had on trail. It's 100 degrees. And I was just looking at, without the water caches, this is a 37-mile dry stretch between water sources, which is the second longest on the entire trail. I'd heard there's some long stretches like in Oregon and stuff, but not in the NorCal section. So this is just a rough stretch to get through. But we'll be back at it after a little bit of a break here. Only 8 more miles. Now we got cows going by on trail. I know it probably doesn't look too crazy, but this is a rocky section. It's light rocks, but it's just rocky enough to be, I don't know, it hurts my feet. It's a tripping hazard. Twisted ankles. It's just rocky enough to be a bother. And I can't go fast and enjoy the fact that there's no ups or downs. It's not exactly smooth sailing. Seems like it's getting hazier throughout the day, but I can still see the 2 main prominent peaks. You got Lassen out that way to the south. And I can still see Shasta to the north. We're officially at that point where we're at danger levels of heat exhaustion. And the water in my water bottles is over 100 degrees, so it's getting more and more difficult to drink. And we still got miles to go until we get to the water cache. It's just a rough stretch on a rough, hot day. It's still very hot. It's hours later. I still have miles to go to get to the water cache. This afternoon is just dragging on very slow. It's very hot. And it's too rocky. So I just ran across Matt and his dog Ayla again. I saw them like 2 days ago. He was doing trail magic in his pickup truck at a random dirt crossing. He's waiting for another hiker that's hiking around me. So he thought he'd walk up trail a little bit. But, I mean, just chatting with him, and he said his pickup truck is just up the road a little bit, near the water cache, and he was like, yeah, I've got drink in the back in the cooler and help yourself. And I'm just like, man, talk about perking up your spirits. Because I'd seen 2 people all day, and it's just a hot slog of a long water carries. And man, I guess I didn't realize it. I was just kind of droning on mindlessly and just like waiting for the day to be over, but just running into him and chatting, and he's like, yeah man, got a drink in the truck, you can have it. Dude, I got a smile on my face, and I am picking up my speed. Thanks, Matt, if you ever see this. Made it to the road. Forest Service Road 22. Trail continues across. To the left here, there's the truck, and there's the water cache. For reference, you don't want that tank. The black tank is for the cattle. You want back here. I think this one. This is the one we want. Please donate. Keep the water going. Man, this is perfect. Today of all days. Cheers. Oh, here we are for the night. I think this will be far enough. We were pretty much at the water cache. It's just down there with other group of hikers. There's the road, and there's the trail going right across. This puts us within 20 miles. We're something like 17, 18, something like that, till town. That'll be good enough. We don't need to race into town anyway, because we can't even get into the hotel until later. So this will be good. I'll get settled in and just kind of enjoy the rest of the evening. Well, I think that's it for today. I got my food, my last mashed potato meal going. So far, nobody else is camping right at this location. Everybody else I was around was pushing on a few more miles, kind of like I had intended, but this will be fine enough for me. This leaves us with a 17.7 for getting into Bernie for tomorrow. We'll hitch in, and it's just a basic enough town where it's got resupply store, and a couple of hotel motel options where we're staying, and some food options. So that's all we need. So that'll be nice. I definitely feel like I need a shower and stuff after today. But I think that's it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.